So listen, every soup season I see people make all kinds of beautiful soups. But a lot of times these soups seems to just be a lot of vegetables and water, and not to knock them, but I have a really hearty soup for you, and that is Slovenian barley stew, or Ričet, made magic. Ričet is such a nice comfort meal, and not only is it magical, it's also super nutritious because of all of these different ingredients that it has inside. Vegetables and meat, herbs and spices, it all comes together in this stew, and I originally was looking at this recipe for inspiration, but I soon decided to just do my own thing. You can get all kinds of ideas from the magic, and you can find the whole recipe on my blog, or for $5 a month you can join my Patreon, where you can get print and e-version recipe cards for your collections. So this meal reminded me a little bit of Jota, except a little bit less complicated to actually put together. And it starts with this lovely bacon, which isn't really like American bacon, but more like somewhere between that bacon and spiral ham. It still has beautiful marbling and a really nice crust outside, but it also cubes up nicely and renders out a good amount of fat. I got this at a local Polish market, and then from somewhere else I just got some Polish sausages that I also chopped up to render all the fat out. This recipe wants you to fry all of your vegetables in pork lard, which means rendering all that fat out gives you exactly what you need to do so. Afterwards, you just scoop it out, set it aside, and get started on all those vegetables. So cube up your first onion, dice the second one, and then get all of your other vegetables diced too. And all those carrots you see there, I actually only ended up using 2.5 because these are really big. I had to quarter them into pieces. The original recipe also said to use celeriac, which I could not find, so I'm just using celery and turnip very finely diced, as well as a little bit of the parsley stem and saving the leaves for garnish. And of course, don't forget your garlic. But the procedure is simple. Onions, garlic when they're translucent, vegetables, salt, and then just steam them for about 10 minutes. Now we're going to take a pound of beans that you had soaking overnight and put them, water and all, into your pot. You want to maybe add a little bit more water until there's just half an inch of water above the beans. Then add that cubed onion, as well as a couple bay leaves and all of your garlic. But salt it, stir it, and then leave it to boil while you set up the rest of your meal. You're just going to rinse all your barley and then add your meat and your aromatics in and let it cook for an hour. But the magic in here is pretty interesting, so I've never actually looked into the magic of turnip and celery and barley before, but they actually very much have to do with love and healing and strength, especially when you combine them with bay leaves. To me, it sounds like the perfect recipe to give to either your partner or your family or your friends to really fortify them, especially in this absolutely wild time of the year. It's easy to get tired and it's cold and everything is just so hectic that a really nice bowl of comfort stew like this is exactly the thing that they're going to need to pick them back up. But now 45 minutes in, pour the beans, and I do mean all them beans, into that pot and stir it up to finish cooking and thickening up for that last 15 minutes. You now have enough food to quite literally feed an army, which if you're like me and you love leftovers is awesome. But once it's done thickening, you're just going to take a nice couple ladlefuls, put it in your bowl, and there you go. Now you have a bowl of magical, comforting, delicious, and nutritious Ričet. Congrats!